Hi! So the first 20 seconds of a live are basically the person who's doing the live scanning and looking and seeing who's going to be there. And I feel a bit out of practice. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on. Oh, here's Sarah. I feel like I'm not alone now. Let's see. I've got... Hi!
Hello, hi, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Get myself in the right position. You look up, you've got makeup on. I didn't put any on.
Oh, I had to put my face on because I knew I was going to be on here. So,
How are you doing?
yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, busy, really busy, good busy though. Yeah.
I think everybody's starting to get a little bit I call it mum busy, when like Christmas jumper day and Christmas dinner and Christmas parties and all of that starts to come in, and you're just like, I can't do anything else. And then all the Christmas sewing that you want to do,
Yes,
but
yes.
don't necessarily have time for.
This is true, but I think that actually it's really lovely that we have this busyness, because this time last year we weren't doing anything.
No.
So it's actually really nice to be busy with all the family stuff and the kids stuff and the Christmas stuff, and yeah, it's great.
I think last year at this time I was just ordering multiple pairs of pajamas.
Well, that's it. Going nowhere.
Going absolutely nowhere, and it was okay, but it did just feel, it felt awful. So it feels really, really good, yes, this year to be a bit more out there and able to do stuff.
Definitely.
Just being able to go and see Father Christmas, go see the big man.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, mine are a bit old for that now, but I can imagine that's a really nice thing to do, and so sad that we weren't able to do that last year.
I know, I don't know how close we'll get to him, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So you're going to tell us about your new pattern.
Yes, I am. So it's called the Dresden Porthole Pillow Pattern.
Yes.
And I've got it here. So let me just get it the right way up. So this is it here.
Oh, look at that.
So this is the one that I've made, and the pattern releases tomorrow, or midnight tonight, should I say. Yeah, midnight tonight.
Will you sleep tonight?
Yeah. So what it is it's the traditional Dresden that we know and love, but then I've used a technique called a porthole to create this center. Now normally you would applique a circle over the top in the middle of a Dresden. That's sort of traditionally how it's done, but this is it's a form of reverse applique. And what I decided to do for mine is embroider. I just made up an embroidery using some of the motifs in this fabric. This fabric is called Eden by Sally Kelly. And it's coming out I think in February next year. But I managed to get hold of some sample yardage to have a play with, and I came up with this. So it doesn't include
You lucky thing.
I know, so lucky. And she knows that I love pink, so she sent me all the pink ones. So, and I just think that this Dresden design is perfect for showing off a fabric collection. You know, when they all go together, and you can have so much fun with fussy cutting as well. And so the pattern doesn't include the embroidery, but it gives you ideas. I mean, you could do your own embroidery, but actually it's really great for fussy cutting and having sort of motifs or animals or flowers poking through. And I had lots of pattern testers test this pattern for me, and I have seen some absolutely fantastic ones with foxes and animals, and sort of animals over here. And I've also seen, I've obviously inspired people with the embroidery, and I've seen like snowflakes in the middle and flowers with the embroidery. So that's,
and what would
really
be really
lovely.
lovely in the middle is, like, sometimes you find them in charity shops, those like vintage tablecloths and napkins and things. They'd look really pretty. And then
you only need, I think, a piece that sort of size to come through that hole. So you don't need a large piece at all. I mean, you could put a cross stitch there or anything really that you wanted to sort of frame with this Dresden. And then the thing that I love about this pillow that's been really popular is the pom-poms.
The pom-poms are always a winner.
They are, aren't they? They're just
They
so
are
fun.
always a winner.
And
They put pom-poms on mine, and
oh, have you made yours?
No, it's not finished yet, but I do have it here. I've got some multicoloured pom-poms. I don't know where I've put them, but this is.
Oh, look at that! Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, I love it. So have you done the hand quilting around the edge as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
I just went for kind of, I suppose, doodling.
Yes. Oh, lovely. You've got some little cross stitches there and hearts.
And all sorts. And then in the middle, it's
confetti.
Yes, thank you. And I thought, well, I'll put some embroidery of some kind in the middle. The other thing that I did with mine was I pieced the back. So I chose 4 different fabrics for the back, for the background, right, and pieced them so there's a different square of low volume.
Oh, yes, I can see. Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice. Oh, somebody has put, so Yarn Crafty in Studio has put, the doodles are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely.
But what I really loved about it was how quick it came together.
Yeah, it's pretty quick actually. It's very satisfying.
It's really quick. Like I sat down and I had it appliqued onto the background fabric in an evening. So I had it, and it was fine. It came together so quickly. And while I was doing it, I was thinking, oh, it's never going to be a circle. I won't have got my template right. But it was a beautiful flat circle.
Yes.
It's really, really lovely. What are your top tips for making it nice and kind of flat and sort of comes together well?
I would say careful drawing around the templates and cutting accurately, making sure that you use a 1/4 inch seam throughout, that's consistent. So when I put my Dresden onto my background, I like to use spray based because I find then that everything lies nice and flat, and then I'll press it after I've sprayed it on, and I know that everything's as flat as can be. So I guess at every stage I'm sort of making sure everything's flat and smooth, and I think that just really helps.
The other thing that was in the pattern as like a little tip was to lay your fabrics out and then to take a photo of them so that you can remember which order you've decided to put them in, because it's only 9 fabrics, but somehow it can be really easy to get yourself in a real big order.
Yes.
And also the other thing that I found interesting was in the past I never would have paired them together. I would have tried to sew all of them together. Do you know what I mean?
So really?
You sew together these 2.
Yes.
And then you sew them to these 2.
That's right. That's it. And then you have your one extra, so then you sew that one on, and then you sew them all together.
Yeah, it was just really, really clear. And as I was making it, I was thinking, you could have one for every holiday.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
You could have a Halloween.
I think actually it would make a beautiful quilt, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To have a whole quilt of these.
Yeah.
And you could do, you could have a different fabric background for each one, or like you have done is divide up the background into quarters and have different fabrics. I think there's a lot of potential there actually.
Yeah, and it'd be good for quilt as you go, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Yeah, definitely. That would work really nicely.
You could do a block and then leave it for a little bit, do another block. But I was thinking, a nice Halloween one, Valentine's.
Oh yes. And some of my pattern testers made some beautiful Christmas ones actually. Christmas versions. Yeah,
I was tempted to do a Christmas one, and then I saw that I had a few of the bunnies left over that I knew were just going to fit that. It's about 6 by 7, isn't it? The little slice that you use, and I just thought, I'm going for the bunnies. It's really lovely, cute. Sarah.
Yes, really, and then I've put on the back, I've done the binding. It's just an envelope back, but I just wanted to add a little accent of colour on there, just to add a bit of interest.
Is that one of the fabrics that's on the front, or have you gone?
Yes, so that's that one there.
Nice.
I've just added that on the back to make it a bit more interesting. Yeah.
Can you show us a close up of the middle?
Yes.
So close the show us a close up of the middle. Can you hold it? Oh, you've done a little bug.
Yes, because there's bugs in. Look, see, there's bugs here.
Oh.
So I thought I'm gonna do a tiny bug.
Oh, so cute.
And I just drew it. I just drew it all on in pencil, kind of freehand really, and then I just kind of filled it in with stitches, and it just kind of works. It just picks out the accents. I just used inspiration from the fabrics that I already had. So
and did you do your embroidery before you put it behind the porthole? Or did you do it afterwards? You did it before?
I did it first. So what I did with my pink bit of fabric, I actually drew the circle onto my pink fabric so that I knew that all my stitches were going to be within that circle. And that it was the exact right size. And then I just put it behind it to make sure that I'd filled it enough and that I was happy. And then I did the whole porthole thing, and then I put it behind it to finish it off and stitched it down.
And then did you stitch it down onto your backing fabric on the machine, or did you hand stitch it down? What did you do?
No, I've machine stitched it there. If you can see, there is a stitch line just going all the way around here. Is that how you did yours?
I did it, and it was a bit wobbly, so I actually unpicked it and hand sewed it on because I just thought,
did you? I think probably, to be fair, that's the hardest part.
Yeah, but I like that you can kind of get a little glimpse of the yellow
turning fabric. And that's why I think it's quite nice to use a fabric that matches, or matches with the pillow, because sometimes it does peek through. So I used this pink as my turning fabric, and so it just blends in nicely. So
see, I never would think to match it. I always go for a contrasting one. So I think mine
but that's lovely too. That's really
bright
nice.
yellow Libs Elliot one. And then did you embroider your little, what do you call these bits? Are they Dresden plates?
Blades they're called, yes.
So blades. I just did a stitch along, and then I stitched around the edge as well.
Nice. Yes.
And I think I'm just going to keep going. No.
You can do whatever you like, really. So you could actually hand stitch the Dresden to the background. And I was going to do that, and then I thought, no, I'm just going to use the sewing machine, because I used a sort of neutral thread and it was just quicker. And then I've done my 2 lines of echo quilting. But I mean, you could machine quilt it, hand quilt onto the Dresden, hand quilt like you did. There's just so many possibilities. You just kind of, I find the best thing to do is make the decisions as you go along, rather than at the beginning, this is what I'm going to do. As you go along, you think, oh, actually, I'm going to give this a try. And just sort of organically work that way, really.
Absolutely. I think once you've chosen your fabrics, because there's 9, isn't there?
Yes.
And then when you get your placement right, then you can kind of see what you're working with and what you fancy doing afterwards.
That's right.
But it's such a fun pattern. It's really lovely.
Oh, thank you.
The hashtag is worth a look, isn't it?
Say again.
The hashtag is worth a look, isn't it? It's hashtag Dresden Porthole.
That's right, Dresden Porthole.
There's so many different ones.
Yes, there's been loads popping up already, it's so great to see how different they can look in different fabrics. Yeah. And I'm itching to make another one, actually. I'm itching to make a Christmas one.
Yeah, I've got a Christmas quilt on the go at the moment. I think I'm definitely going to make a Christmas version. Did you use Essex linen as the background?
Yes, so I've got, it's called Flax. That was from So Hot, actually, which is just one of my favourites. I just think that everything goes with that. It's just gorgeous. And it really makes the colours pop. Yeah, it's really lovely. And then I use the Aurifil thread for the hand quilting. Yeah. And then the pom-poms.
Yeah, I use some of the Sashiko threads from So Hot. They're so lovely. They're so smooth. Like when you're sewing with them, they just feel so lovely. It just makes it into more like a tactile experience doing the sewing. It just feels a bit nice.
When you put your pom-poms on, the hand quilting part.
Yeah, I do. I kind of feel like I make something to then be able to sit and hand quilt it. When you put your pom-poms on, did you glue baste them on, or did you stitch baste them?
No, I stitch based them. So the pom-pom bit is probably another tricky bit, but if you just take the time and go slowly, it's fine. So I've put this in the pattern. So what you do is you pin them down quite securely, and then when you're happy that everything's in the right place, then you stitch them down, sort of baste them down with hand stitches quite close together, and you just need to make sure that all the pom-poms are tucked in nicely, particularly around the corners, and then stitch them down, which just means then you don't have to have any pins in it when you come to put in the back of your cushion on. And then I use the binding clips to clip it all together to make the cushion, because the pom-poms are on like a ribbon, aren't they?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, and you have to be careful, because if your seam allowance is too shallow, then what can happen is the ribbon can poke through a little bit. And that did happen to me. And so then what you have to do is just quickly turn it out when you've done all the way around, turn it out and just see if there's any bits where it's poking through, and then literally just turn it back in again and just give it that slightly deeper seam allowance to make sure you catch that ribbon in. Just so then you've got all of the pom-poms the same kind of, you want them all to look the same.
They're so naughty little pom-poms.
Yeah. And I think, although it's a bit of effort at the time,
they're worth it.
It's so worth it, because it's really jolly, isn't it? It's just really fun, and it's a nice addition. So and it just so happened, I thought, oh, I think I'll add pom-poms, and it just so happened that I had the perfect shade. I didn't even have to buy any. So
the same thing happened to me. I'd got some like multicolored pom-poms. They're probably about this big. They're probably quite big. They're probably a bit oversized for the pillow, but I thought, no, I'm definitely going with the pom-poms around the edge.
Well, you know what you could do if they're bigger? You could just have a couple in the corners.
Oh no, I'm going all the way around.
You're going all the way around.
But yeah, that's the other thing that I do like about some of the pillows that I've seen recently, is with the tassels in the corners.
Yes.
Like made from embroidery floss. They look really, really pretty.
It's those really little attention to detail that just really sets something apart, isn't it? Whether it's a little label or a bit of embroidery or a pom-pom or a trim or something. Yeah. It's just that extra level of detail.
I know I'm slightly biased, but these would make a really good teacher present, wouldn't they?
Totally. I mean, wouldn't they look lovely on a teacher's chair at his or her desk?
They'd be really lovely.
Definitely. Yeah, and like you say, they do come together really quickly. The bit that took me the longest was the embroidery, and that's, you know, just out of my choice really, and because I liked doing it. But if you put a fabric behind there, sort of fussy cut, and a creature or a flower or something, it actually comes together really quite quickly. So I think it's good to have projects that are a bit quicker, because we love making quilts, but let's face it, they take ages. And this is quite a satisfying quick finish, I think.
It really is. It really is. Are you excited for your launch day?
Yes, so that's tomorrow. So I'm going to be sending out the newsletter. So newsletter subscribers will get 15% off, and if you sign up for the newsletter, then you'll also get 15% off as well. So
brilliant.
And I think So Hot are going to be selling the paper copies. So we're just in the process of getting that organised, which is really exciting.
We're looking at getting all of your patterns, I think.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Brilliant. Just so that we've got the full range, because they're just so simple and dead easy to work with. We love them.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Thank you.
It'd be really lovely to get those. So good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you. It's been lovely chatting to you. I'm so pleased to see your version and that you've been enjoying it.
I'm going to, I might go and do a little bit more now. I keep looking at it.
It's quite nice, isn't it, in the evening, just doing a bit of hand stitching.
Winter is definitely a time for a bit of hand stitching. Definitely. On the sofa, get warm. I think, have we covered everything? Oh, the other thing that I saw in the pattern was you'd put, if people wanted you to come and teach the pattern, to get in touch with you. That's really exciting. So you would go to guilds and go to groups and that kind of thing, and be happy to teach.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've already got a couple of places lined up. I'm going to be teaching probably at the Festival of Quilts. This will be a class, and I've got a couple of quilt groups and guilds that I'm teaching to next year, and it's so fun. I just think it's going to be a brilliant sort of morning class. I think it's going to be great.
But what will be really lovely is just meeting people.
I know,
just seeing those people
well,
that
I
are
taught a
sewing.
festival of quilts this year, and it was the only in-person teaching that I've done this year, and it was just brilliant. And I was doing about 2.5 days, and beforehand I was thinking, oh, that's quite a lot of teaching, I'm going to be quite tired. But do you know what, we had so much fun, and hopefully everyone learned something, and they made some beautiful samples and beautiful work. And I think everyone just felt the same, just so happy and grateful to be there and to be in person learning and being with fellow people, you know, who love quilting as much as they do. So
we're
I'm
human
looking forward
beings at
to
the
more
end of the
teaching.
day. We're just human beings who need to be around people that like doing the same things as us, don't we?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, Kath's joined from North Carolina. Hi, Kath.
Wow.
Thank you for joining.
Oh, Kath, I feel like I should talk a bit more now.
Let's do a quick recap. So we're just talking about the Dresden Porthole pillow pattern, which is releasing tomorrow. So tonight at midnight, it's going to be on the website. So this is the pillow here, and the PDF pattern is going to be available 15% off if you signed up to the newsletter, and if you're already a subscriber, then I'm sending out a code to get the pattern as well.
Brilliant.
So yeah, well, it's lovely to chat to you.
Take care, and I'm sure we'll do something together at some point soon.
That would be lovely. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.